that game does not look fun. No matter how much they try and show it, it does not look fun. Go check out the Horror, Philosophy, and Culture podcast, Scary Thoughts. Co-hosts Mark Cate and Chad Lott cover classic and obscure horror films, going deep while keeping the conversation light. To listen, go over to iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, or wherever you receive your dark sermons from the cursed minds of the damned.
Of the damned. All right, y'all. So our news of the week, we got number 5, Quentin Tarantino's Star Trek, which is going to be rated R. Number 4, Destiny 2, Curse of Osiris. The Prometheus lens breaks PvP. In-game content locked without expansion. Number 3, we got Jessica Jones trailer. Reveals S2 release date. Number 2. Yep. Number 2, we got the Game Awards.
Yeah, you don't have to go into all of them, but yeah, all the
there's a whole bunch of them in the awards, and then number 1. We're going to be talking Witcher on Netflix.
Yep. Word.
Following that, we get into the Destiny 2 Curse of Osiris update with OTK MagicStick and Joe. And last but not least, CBBC, Batman War of Jokes and Riddles. Hit us up.
Let's go. Welcome, everybody. Comically Gaming, episode 82. We are...
How was that?
At the time that this video comes out, we'll be 2 days away from The Last Jedi.
Ooh, man.
Yeah.
We're almost there. Almost there. Corey, how was your week?
It was good. Still just been playing a shitload of Xenoblade for the most part. I'm still really liking it. It's awesome. Other than Xenoblade, read Batman, the
CBBC, end of the show.
CBBC, end of the show.
Briefly, did you like it?
Jokes and Riddles. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Okay.
I wasn't.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I don't think I was like amazed.
That's that Zelda tune. I recognize that.
Other than that, I think that's probably.
That's
really all I did. I've just been playing Xenoblade every night. Besides, I guess we played the Monster Hunter beta last night. That was sweet.
How many hours of
hours of what?
How many hours are in Xenoblade total?
I don't know. I haven't looked it up. I would probably have 20 to 30 hours. I don't think I'm halfway through it. I don't know.
Wow.
It's a long game.
Yeah.
It's real long, and I'm not even doing that many side quests at this point. So it's a big JRPG for sure. But it's really good. The Monster Hunter beta was sweet, and then that whatever we played last week after the show.
So I gotta say, Monster Hunter, like I'm down. Like
yeah, me too.
I've tried to play that game so many times and did not enjoy it. And playing with you guys changed everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
way more fun.
And I was like Jeff. I played it single player, and it's much different when you have other people.
Is it? Okay.
Even I don't know. Even this one, just compared to the last one I played, at least. Obviously we played multiplayer, but single player seems like it would be cooler than I think the last one I played was like Monster Hunter Ultimate 3 or something. Just the environment seemed a lot cooler, and like it seemed way better than any other Monster Hunter. I only played that other one, but yeah, it's really sweet. It'd be sweet when we can upgrade our characters. And I mean, at one point when we were playing last night, I was mining something so you can mine stuff and
I
craft
saw
stuff. Yeah, I mean, it looks like they're I'm hyped for that. That should be a fun game for sure.
I told Vanessa about the cats, and just based on that alone, she was like, "I'm gonna play."
The cats are awesome.
I thought it was funny that after you finish the single player game, it's like, oh, would you like to go to the PlayStation Store and pre-order now?
Yeah. It pissed Nate off last night too when it happened.
Yeah.
No, I was just pissed that it chopped it up. You can throw an ad in my
Right.
face if you're letting me play for free. I'm cool with that. But I wanted to go back
Yeah.
down and craft some shit or whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
They only gave you a slice of hunting monsters. But that being said, that slice sold me.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. All right, Dirk.
Sweet. Let's see. So for Corey, I read Maestros 1 and 2.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Really good, right?
Yes, it is. It's got that really dark sense of humor that's
Yeah.
not a whole lot of image books have, but that one has it. And it's awesome. The art style reminds me of Preacher, the 90s. Yeah, same sort of Steve Dillon style a little bit. But yeah, by the second issue, I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be great.
Oh yeah.
I think Steve Skroce is the creator, right? And
I'm not sure.
he's writing and doing the artwork, which is awesome.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Oh, he does both?
Yeah, he does both. Double
I
project.
didn't even know that. That shit's gonna be coming out slow once he gets caught up.
Yeah, and he's working on other series and stuff. I read Black Magic 9.
Oh,
wow.
nice.
I haven't
It's
read
out,
that.
huh? I gotta do that.
Yeah. Oh, man. Just, it feels like they're building towards something crazy.
Yeah.
There's like more and more stuff happening. Each of those issues, he's dropping like elements where you're like, oh man, there's some crazy stuff around the corner.
Sure.
I read Batman, of course, War of Jokes and Riddles. I thought it was incredible. I mean, if I'm we'll talk about it at the end of the show. And then 2 games I focused on this week heavy was Witcher. I got past Kaer Morhen, and
All right, so we just got to talk about it on the show. No spoilers.
right,
But the Battle of Kaer Morhen
was
fucking
one of the
incredible,
best.
Huh?
One of the best video game moments probably in my life.
Yeah, it was. I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree 100%.
Totally.
The whole thing.
Yeah, I mean it blew my mind in a whole new way, right? And that's like 70 hours into it or something. And I was like, oh shit, it's bringing this game to the table. Like I could not believe it. It was so awesome.
Setup, I mean the whole setup, and then the characters. I mean seeing everybody, it's like I got chills. I mean as it was happening.
I'm with you.
And then the certain thing that happens at the end of the
they dropped the bomb.
battle,
Yeah.
I just
It's brutal.
it hit me hard. Yeah,
it's
hit me
hardcore.
hard. And then the other game I started playing to get sort of thicker into was Cuphead.
Oh, okay, cool.
Finally turned the corner on it. I initially dropped it because it was so hard. I mean, it's one of the hardest platformers I think I've ever played, like old school Nintendo level hard.
Sure. Yeah.
But once you sort of like just say, screw it, I'm going to keep playing this until I get, past a level, it starts to catch on, and the actual playability of it gets to be really, really fun.
Nice.
Being as hard as it is, too, you would think. But and then the visual styling of it is unparalleled. I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, of course, yeah. It lends itself to a lot of Let's Plays and whatnot. It's funny, people always say, and I don't have anything to play it on, but that you miss everything when you're playing it because it's so hard that you've got to focus on what you're doing. So then people go back and watch videos and be like, oh man, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
They didn't recognize it in the moment.
Absolutely. And I think because of that art style being the way it is so fluid. I mean, there's just no sort of like, in CGI and video game sort of sequences and stuff, you can always see some like choppiness here and there. This looks like that cartoon style that I mean from the 30s. It's great. I mean, yeah. I totally enjoy it now. I'm getting into the thick of it, but that's pretty much it. I'm gonna start hitting Witcher probably 2 hours a day until I finish. So.
Yeah, you're almost there.
Yeah.
You're almost there. All right, Jeff.
Sweet.
I got miles to go then. I played a lot of Last of Us. That's
right.
Like
My
a-
other favorite
it's-
game.
Man, it's so good. Every time you think the story's going to go away, you expect the story to go, it completely changes course, and the dialogue is,
You think?
yeah, it doesn't conform to anything, and you grow to just love the characters so much, Joel and Ellie, that
Yeah.
and
you
the
get
shit
to-
it goes
to winter?
down. Yeah, I'm in winter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, when that
Yeah.
starts, when
Oh,
that
yeah.
kicks off, it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Is this what's happening? And then, yeah, it does.
Yeah, and the whole looks like a Boy Scout camp or some sort of resort retreat.
Yeah, you better stop right there.
Yep,
Stop right
I'm gonna
there.
stop. But
Yeah.
man,
Can I piggyback on that real quick, Jeff? I love the fact that it's a game that is set up where it's enough to draw you in and be mildly, to be like into it a little bit, and then they kick it into overdrive, a little further into the game.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah, agreed.
and
so
I like how they've spaced out the weapons throughout the game,
Sure.
and then you get a really good weapon, but it's not like right at the end, so you use it for the final boss battle or anything like that. But
Right.
yeah, it's man. God. I stopped. I had to stop myself last night to get some sleep. But I read Batman War Jokes and Riddles, and I was playing some Battlefront 2 multiplayer tonight.
Yeah.
And I used to be really kick ass in the space battles, and I don't like the way they changed it.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah. I don't know.
I liked them in the campaign. I didn't play them multiplayer, but I did enjoy them there.
I mean, it looked really good. Like, yeah, I was on Camino with against Federation
Sure.
and the Separatists, and did some of the first person shooter, and I suck. Got my ass handed to me.
So why didn't what changes are you talking about? Why don't you like it?
I don't know. It just feels slower. That's
Okay.
I think that's the biggest thing is the ships feel slower
Okay.
than they
Gotcha.
used to be. I maybe if I play it more, I'll get into it. But there's so many other games to play for me to really worry about that. I played Everybody's Golf and played Destiny 2 with you guys.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's at the end of the road on
Oh yeah,
that game
Curse of
too.
Osiris. Corey didn't even bring that up. We beat the expansion story,
that.
right?
Did beat the expansion for like 4 hours.
Beat its ass.
And we'll be talking later. We got a Destiny special. We got some
Who
special
won?
guests to discuss
What?
it with us.
What was Adam's score?
7 under.
Nice work, Dirk.
Nice.
No, I didn't
Dirk's
even look
got
to
it.
see.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know how y'all got under par with rain.
Dude, I got lucky. You know what? It was the wind. The wind wasn't killing like it normally did, I think.
Yeah.
And I used my custom clubs with a grass cutter.
Yeah, that's what I use. Custom clubs, grass cutter.
We're
Yeah.
talking about, just for the crowd here, we've got Everybody's Golf League going, and we're like right at the deadline for the week when you can turn in your scores. And Adam, who is our biggest trash talker, turned in a score, and it wasn't as good as Dirk's.
That's right.
Well, this is all going to come down the next week
Yep, it will. It'll come down to the last game.
for us,
All right, Jeff, you got anything
And
else?
I'm done with finals for the semester,
Yay!
so I'm free for a month.
Nice.
So,
Nice. That's awesome.
Cool. So
Word.
my week, some more Nier. I'm trying to beat Nier. I was calling Corey earlier this week because I listen to people talk about Nier on podcasts all the time. Everybody with Game of the Year talk, everybody's been bringing it up, and everybody acts like you can beat one of the playthroughs in 5 to 8 hours. That is not the case for me, and I do not feel like I'm doing much like side stories at all. And I'm like 12 hours in, and it does not seem like I'm on a final mission or anything
You
like
gotta
that.
be close.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But great game. I can't wait to play it more. Rise of Osiris, we talked about that. Walking Dead, Corey, you caught up on
Yeah, I
Walking
did
Dead?
watch that. Yeah,
Yeah,
not
so-
tonight, obviously, but yeah.
Right. Yeah. Same here. Good. Right. There was that
Yeah.
one snoozer episode, but this season in general has been pretty good. I've been into it.
Sure.
And then some podcasts I listened to this week that I just wanted to talk about a little bit. First of all, I've brought it up before. Tanis. It's like a fiction story, and I got to the end of season 1, and it really kind of blew me away. Like I've thought this group of people make several different fictional stories, and Rabbits is the other one that I've talked about in the past. I like them. They kind of go borderline like occult weird stuff and science fiction, and they mix together a lot of things. But I hadn't really been. I enjoy them, but not blown away by them. I like them more than anything, just because they're different. Nobody's really doing stuff like that. But the end of season 1 of Tanis was awesome. Like, when I got to say, they brought together the story in a way that was really cool. Really cool.
Yeah.
I definitely would suggest it to
Check
everybody.
that out. Yep.
The other thing, my new favorite podcast is Digital and Dice.
Yeah.
They week after week they kill it. They really do. And I feel like in particular, they talk a lot of video games, which is in my wheelhouse. And then they talk a lot of role playing games. And for me, being a noob at D&D, really, really cool information that I get from these guys about variations and different types of games that people play that I just knew nothing about before. And they do a great job of discussing it and laying it all out so that it's easy for a noob like me to understand even. I enjoy it a lot. So I just wanted to say that. Digital and Dice. And then finally started listening to a podcast this week called Bombarded, which
I'm not familiar with that one.
Bombarded it's a D&D game where all 3 members of the party are bards. And,
oh my God, that sounds amazing.
Right. In the 4 people, so them and the DM are in a band in real life. So at the end when they're being bards, they actually play the songs when they're casting their spells. And then at the end of every episode, they roll dice, and the number on the die, it corresponds to a chord. So they'll roll dice, and then they have to make a song based on with the chords that come up on the dice, based on whatever happened in that episode. And it's great. It's really
It's like
cool.
music nerds and role playing.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Oh my God,
it's
amazing.
Yeah, let people know to check that one out. Bombarded. I'm 3
Totally
episodes into it, and I'm digging it for sure.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
All right, so that was the week.
News of the week. Time for your news of the week. Number 5. Basically just came out this week. Quentin Tarantino making the Star Trek movie.
So, is this unbelievable? I thought it was
It's
like a
unbelievable.
joke or a rumor or something like that. Dude, this is real.
It's unreal.
It's real, yeah.
awesome.
So crazy. Yeah, it sounds fucking awesome. It's going to be a R-rated Star Trek movie made by Quentin Tarantino. So it sounds amazing. It's,
Also, I think
don't know.
he's I think he's into Next Generation big time too. That's what he mentions in the article. So that's gonna be, if it's something like that,
Yeah, I'd never watched much Star Trek, but I love Quentin Tarantino, and I'd love to see what he can do with the space story.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, because most of Tarantino's movies are. I would never expect him to want to do a Star Trek movie. Really not.
Right.
I mean,
I'd be different.
It's got to be. For this to be awesome, it's got to be a Tarantino movie, right? It
Right.
just happens to be a Star Trek movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the way.
If he can pull that off,
Awesome.
yeah, then it'll be like the greatest thing ever. I'm so excited for it.
You know what?
Exactly.
I'm imagining
Just a Tarantino movie in the Star Trek universe. But.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm picturing like all the Tarantino movies with guns, but replaced with phasers.
but no blood. There'll be no blood.
I know.
Yeah.
I'd even do that. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
sounds awesome.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Mace
So-
Windu.
Number 4.
Face Winder.
The Curse of Osiris came out this week in Destiny 2. We played
Mixed
through it.
reviews.
Yeah, to mixed reviews.
Very
One of the
much
big part of the news is the Prometheus Lens new gun in it comes out. Completely broke PvP. Apparently, you could just kill anyone
It's crazy.
immediately through walls. Totally destroyed it, and then so Bungie, they couldn't. They're fixing it next week, so it's as a quick fix. They just let Xur sell it so that everybody can have it. So it's just a free for all with the Prometheus Lens in the Crucible right now.
That is a crazy gun.
So props to them for doing that, right? Like
So,
if they
yeah.
had just left it broken and not done anything for a week and a half or whatever, that would have been disaster. Like at least they got in there and said, "Okay, we're sorry. Here you go. Let's make this crazy until we fix it." You know?
Yeah, exactly. That's totally cool move for sure. So, and then the other. Yeah, mixed reviews. We talked about the story. You can hear us talk about that later. But also, it's just endgame content is locked, basically, without the expansion.
Yeah. So the Nightfall.
Yeah.
Right. The
Nightfall.
Yeah. And what's the other thing? That's the 3:30 event. Do you know what it is?
Trials.
No,
What?
it's not trials. There's another part. I forget what it is.
Hard
but
mode on the raid, or
no.
or-
Oh yeah, that's what it is. It's the hard mode on the raid. So if you don't buy this expansion, then your game got worse. You
Yeah.
cannot compete in events that you could before. So weird,
That's
That is
backwards.
Yeah, but we talked about it the other night. Like if you're into Destiny and you're actually
you're still
playing that
playing it
endgame
now.
content,
Yeah.
then you pay for it. You know what this is all about. You pay
Yeah.
$100 every 2 years, and that's pretty cheap for the amount of hours of entertainment you're going to get out of it, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
so people were complaining about it, but you know what? Don't play if you want to just play the same game for 3 years straight, because that's not what Destiny is.
No.
True. Yeah.
Right.
You know?
So yeah. Number 3, Jessica Jones season 2 trailer dropped.
Yeah, buddy.
It looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks awesome from what you can. Didn't really show a whole lot, but
It seemed like
showed
more
the-
special effects, right? Of her
Yeah.
doing crazy stuff.
I think
Yeah.
they'll have a bigger budget this time around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I imagine. I don't know, maybe.
And it
But-
dropped a release date. I didn't see what it was. Sorry, I had no show prep time. I had to
I
work.
thought it was March. I thought it was March release. Wasn't
Yeah.
it March?
I think it's in March.
Yeah, I think it's a March.
Yeah, we'll see.
All
I
right.
think we kind of all agree that Jessica Jones is the best of the first 4 Marvel shows.
Yeah.
That being
And watch
said,
Punisher.
yeah, well, I kind of count that as like
Extended
phase
universe,
2 or whatever. Yeah. But like for me, that show was made by the her and Kilgrave story, and
Yeah.
the actor, I forget his name, who plays Kilgrave.
It's David Tennant.
Yeah, right. It was great, right? Like, and,
Yes.
and so I'll be for how much I'm not liking the Defenders right now. I will be surprised if I think season 2 is good. I hope
Yeah.
it is, but I'll be shocked if it is.
Right.
Yeah.
I-
It's hard. Yeah. It's a lot to live up to.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Just 'cause I like the first one so much. But, so yeah.
Yep.
Number 2, Video Game Awards happened this week. I guess I'll let Nate take the announcements.
So I wanted to say 2 things. This weekend, the Video Games Award and PSX happened, and PSX was lame this year.
Mhm.
Like it would
Yeah.
be fun to go to that, I think, but there were the announcements that came out of that were a bunch of indie games, which are cool.
Yeah, I
and
looked
all,
through them quick, and
but yeah, nothing that I didn't watch a single announcement from that I was stoked about. With the Game Awards, there was a lot of stuff. So a World War Z game that looked pretty cool. I got to say, the zombies crawling all over top of each other and whatnot looked just as cool as it does in the movies. Where are we at? Bayonetta 3, right? So Corey's
that
stoked
was
for
hyped.
Bayonetta. Yep, that's
Yeah.
another Switch exclusive.
Switch exclusive.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this. The Switch has done it. Like,
Yep.
I color me officially surprised and wrong. I was a shit talker about this, and I still don't want one yet, but it's a success, right? Like, for sure
Yeah.
at this point. So it'll be real interesting to see how these other third parties, what games they start bringing to this thing. If Wolfenstein 2 is coming out on it, then you can clearly take a new next gen game and downscale it to the Switch, right?
Yeah.
So are we going to see that for like Red Dead Redemption or, you know what I mean, Cyberpunk? Like, is that going to happen or not? You know, that's, to me, that's when they really become game changers, you know, Nintendo anyways.
Right.
Yeah, I still see it as a secondary console. Like, I mean,
Right.
PS4 is still my console, but I love it. I mean, I've been playing
Yeah.
more Switch the past 3 months than PS4. But
I just
It's
feel
an
like
alternative,
The
right?
momentum's so strong though that it could be more than that, right? If they keep
Yeah.
this up, so we'll see. So Bayonetta, Vacation Simulator, which is job simulator only on vacation. Campo Santo made Firewatch. Their new game came out called In the Valley of Gods. Looks like an Egyptian kind of adventure.
Okay.
Fade to Silence, Witchfire. Any of you guys watch the Witchfire trailer?
No.
So watch that. That
Okay.
looks fucking cool, and especially it's
Sweet.
got D&D sensibilities to it. For
Uh-huh.
sure. So I would suggest you all watch Witchblade.
Dirk's hooked.
Dreams is not that. The people that made Little Big Planet have been working on Dreams for like 5 years, and it's not going to be a success. I mean that game does not look fun. No matter how much they try and show it, it does not look fun. Metro Exodus. So I haven't gotten into the Metro games, but they always look cool. I just haven't had time for them. I feel like I put them like with Dishonored, like it just hasn't happened yet. So this is the next one of those. It looked pretty good. And then Death Stranding.
Death
So-
Stranding.
You guys watch? Everybody but Corey watched it, huh? Did you watch it, Jeff?
Shit.
Jeff, did you watch
No,
it?
I didn't watch it. No.
Oh, so it's just me
I
and
didn't.
Dirk. So, fucking
Man.
this. I didn't think you could get crazier, and he did.
You know, the
Right.
thing is, like, okay, so I thought it was kicking off to be something. My original thought of what it was, I was like, oh, this looks pretty, you know, this looks nice. I mean, it's beautiful, whatever. And then it just, like, got fucking crazy.
Right.
Like,
Right.
it started getting really, really psychedelic in a dark way.
Yeah,
you
in
know?
a dark way. Yeah, that's what it feels like. It definitely does.
Weird.
They started like, you know, it looked like any game like Space Marines on Mars or whatever.
Yeah,
And then
right.
all of a sudden it just fucking took a left turn, and you're like, what is happening here? Like,
Yeah.
It's,
Super trippy.
yeah. So I don't know.
I can't wait to watch it. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, you got.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, you guys got to check it out. So it's crazier than the last two, I feel like, and it
seems
gets me-
hard. The first one was
I know
sort of
that's true, but
crazy.
wait till you watch this.
Yeah. No, I mean, this looks like the budget on this looks incredible.
Yeah.
It looks like something that, I mean, looks like it was really hard to put together. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
There's just so much going on in it. I mean, the textures and that like gold face.
Yeah.
My God.
Yeah,
It's
I
crazy.
feel like even if the gameplay wasn't good, this is a must buy just to experience
The
the
visuals,
weird ass
right.
story, right? Like,
Yeah.
and you got
Yeah.
a feeling that Metal Gear gameplay's good. They're not going to have a game that has bad gameplay. So
Yeah,
I just-
Kojima. I mean,
I'm hoping it's not a stealth game like Metal Gear was. That's my hope. Like,
Yeah.
the last Metal Gear I wanted to play, but I just hate friggin' you go into those missions and you're going in stealth mode for 15 minutes, and then like all of a sudden somebody sees you and it's machine gun time or run and hide
Right.
time. Like, you know, to me,
Dishonored.
I hope that this is more of just a straight action game myself. But we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
For sure.
So yeah, Death Stranding, check that out. Just briefly, the awards out of there. Zelda won Game of the Year, and then
Word.
Corey.
Hellblade, Cuphead, and Overwatch all had multiple awards too. So I got to say, Zelda and Hellblade were the two that I played there, and definitely deserving.
Yes, Zelda's definitely deserving.
Yeah,
Game of the
Yes,
century.
I don't know about that.
Century.
And number one, Netflix has a showrunner for their Witcher series coming up.
Word.
And the news is bad.
So,
Yeah, I don't know what to make of it. I mean, yeah,
So go ahead,
it's the-
Corey.
Yeah,
is it?
go ahead.
the co-executive producer for Defenders and Daredevil.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I like Daredevil. I thought
Yeah.
Defenders was fucking terrible, and and I feel like the whole series has this kind of B feel to it, right? That I
totally.
hope The Witcher doesn't have. I was hoping for bigger budget, bigger kind of. I was hoping for Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And if I get Defenders instead of Game of Thrones, that's going to be a major disappointment for me.
Definitely.
Yeah. The other thing is, I think, okay, so they have the author from the books. He's going to be on as a creative consultant.
Hmm.
And then the guy who directed the 3 intro videos for each of the games is going to direct at least 1 episode each season.
Oh, it's cool.
Cool.
I hadn't heard
But-
that. That's cool.
Yeah, but nobody else from Project Red is going to be on it. They're not involved at all.
Hmm.
That's what I'm a little, shaky about. But
Well,
I don't know.
Just a brief little bit of history is, the CD Projekt Red offered, when they bought the rights from the author of the books, he fucked up and they offered him a percentage, and he said no because he didn't think the game was going to be successful. He took a one-time lump sum, and obviously the game's super successful, and he made a fraction of what he should have made because of that. And so the show is him trying to make money again, right? So it's not CD Projekt Red. It's him trying to, he's the one getting paid by Netflix anyway. So, but I'm telling you, I'm reading the first book, and it's fucking just as great for just the same reason. So yeah, I have high hopes.
Yeah, me too.
Who do you see as Geralt?
I don't know.
I'm thinking Jamie. I want Jamie Lannister as Geralt.
Ooh.
Yeah, he'd be good. He would be good.
Yeah.
Well, he's got fucking time since we're not going to see Game of Thrones for a year.
God, is that depressing or what?
It is depressing.
Gonna make 7 episodes and they take 2 years? You gotta be kidding me.
Milking that
more
cow.
already.
Yeah.
It's your news of the week.
We're gonna talk some Destiny 2. We brought with us a couple of experts here. OTK MagicStick. Jimmy, how you doing?
Good. How's everybody?
Doing well.
What's up?
And then Joe, back in the day in Destiny 1 when me and Corey were hitting that up hard, Joe was hitting it up harder.
Yeah. That sounds like a pro.
Yeah, it's funny. Joe actually played with us when he first started, and then he quickly just blew us out of the water, played 100 more hours a week than either of us, and didn't have time for us anymore. We couldn't join his raid group because we were too slow. So anyways, just wanted to, we're whatever, a couple months into Destiny 2. Seems like a lot's happened in Destiny. Curse of Osiris came out this week, so we just kind of wanted to revisit in general kind of where we were with it. I know Corey and Jeff and Dirk were all making fun of me about how I stopped playing as soon as the story was done completely this time, after begging everybody to buy it and play and join our clan and all that stuff.
Hey, ghosted.
Yeah, Corey, you're pretty hardcore about it, yeah? You got max level.
Yeah, I got to max, and I dropped off pretty quick after that. But I wouldn't say I got to 302 or something.
Gotcha.
That's
Joe,
not quite max.
Yeah, Joe. I assume you maxed out 3 characters.
Yeah,
just
probably
as always.
Yeah, within the first week. They made the game too easy though. They geared it for casuals.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you play through the story and they give you all your guns. You don't even earn anything.
Yeah, but depending on what guns you want, I would say, because I didn't get any of the guns that I used through story.
Really?
No, but I mean, just playing through the game itself, you get all that stuff. It drops.
It's all random.
Easy.
Yeah.
And then the stats are all static on them, so there's no need to try for another gun since they're all the same.
Yes.
Right.
Right. It was weird.
So they dumbed it down.
Yeah, definitely. Jimmy, you're not. Did you get max level? Or you? I know you. I've seen you playing COD lately, the past month or whatever. You probably dropped off of Destiny. Huh?
I finished what there was to finish. I got a 305 Titan, a Hunter, and a Mage, all 305. I got the guns that I wanted. Basically, the one gun I couldn't find for a long time was the anti-OD. I don't know if you know about it. It's a submachine gun, and then it's got the kill chain. So every kill you get, you reload, and it's stronger every single time.
Okay.
So that was like a huge gun that I wanted. And then I quickly realized that if you play on anything but a Titan, you're playing in hard mode. The Titan is just absolute, like, hands down the best PvP. You can't beat it. So I figured out Titan is the man, anti-OD is the shit. I quickly hated the Mida multi-tool, so I switched towards the Nameless Midnight, and it was Nameless Midnight anti-OD or like a long-range AR, basically. And there's a lot of guns that you could use for that, but mostly the Uriel's gift was the one that you wanted.
Nice. And so, Jimmy,
Nice.
you played mainly PvP, mainly in the Crucible, right? And am I correct about that? And then Joe, I know last time we were playing together, you didn't get into the Crucible until you ran out of everything else to do. Are you more into it nowadays, or what was your Destiny 2 experience like?
I'm probably 75% PvE.
Right.
I just do the PvP for the bounties and
Sure.
just the weekly bounty, and that's it. Don't
Sure.
touch trials.
Well, and then I remember when we were talking shit about Destiny 2 when it came out, you were the one who was telling me that I'm wrong, that it's still good. Like, are you still digging it at this point? What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, it's okay now that the new expansion's out, but in a week or two, when once all the the players get the map light, what's there left to do?
Yeah.
It's very shallow content.
Sure.
Right.
Well, the expansion was really shallow.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of the stuff that we're getting is like stuff that we had in Destiny 1, and now they're like, adding these features back, and they're calling it like they're adding stuff to it.
Right.
Like private matches are coming out here in the spring, and we had that in Destiny 1. So it's like they strip the game back, and then they add the stuff back.
Sure.
Or sell it back to you.
Wow.
New content.
Yeah, exactly. So we sat down the other night, me and Corey and Jeff, and played through all the story missions of Curse of Osiris. Corey, you're making all this noise over here. What do you think?
I know, right?
What are your thoughts?
With the expansion?
Yeah.
I don't. Well, all we did was play through the story, and I thought it was pretty lame. It was. I mean, it was all right. It just. I mean, we ran through that triangle tunnel about 20 times, and then, and there's. You can't play the missions on hard, and we blew through it all. We ran through the Pyramidian strike, except not in strike mode. And then we fought a boss at the end. It just wasn't very deep. And pretty repetitive. It seemed like
that boss battle was lame.
Well, but only because it was so easy, right? It's weird that those levels were like 200 levels.
Yeah.
Even I was overpowered, and I'm the least overpowered dude around.
Right.
Well, they geared it for casuals.
Right.
Yeah.
They want everybody to be able to pick it up and play and not feel left out. And that's the shitty part of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with Corey, though. I feel like those story missions, man, we ran through that same spot in Mercury 100 times, it felt like.
God.
It's like they made one level and ran you through it 5 times, and then that was the story missions, It was weird.
Yeah.
Even when they had Ikora open the special portal, I was like, oh, look, it's the same tunnel. Yay! Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much.
All right, well, I got to say, though, it sounds like we're being overwhelmingly negative. I do want to say, like, that that is still my favorite type of co-op. Ever since Halo, sitting on the couch next to somebody and playing through levels like that, like, I just love playing me and my buddies versus the alien invasion, and I still feel like if Bungie does one thing right, it's the controls. Like they always just feel perfect. You know what I mean? And so even what we did, like I felt like even if I don't do anything else, the $20 is worth it just to go through new levels with my buddies and whatnot. And I also got to say, like, it's weird. I feel like these side stories that they're doing with the expansion stuff is just like Rise of Iron or whatnot. Like, clearly they're not pushing this story forward, right? Like, they're just going off and doing like I say, it feels like side missions in an RPG or whatnot. You know, what's going on? There's still all the obvious questions about the Traveler have not been answered yet.
Yeah.
Like, it's awoken, but you know, what does that mean? Even, you know, it's weird.
Well, and Nate, I mean, just look at all the lead up they had in Destiny 1. It was called Trials of Osiris. I mean, they made it seem like Osiris was this great man, and you see him for 30 seconds, and he turns around and walks back into the portal, and he's gone.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, well, what's this all about?
The cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird.
I mean, the whole thing, you know, they could have went so much farther with it, but have you not played through to the end then? Did I just ruin it for you?
No, we did.
What?
No, we
We
did.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end there when he's like, well, I'm back. I belong in the infinite forest. And he turns around and he leaves.
Right.
Like,
See ya.
what is this all about?
Yeah.
So, I mean, they blew an opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so let's just go around just real quick. I know Dirk hasn't played it, so he's just hanging out here. But everybody else, like, where do you stand with Destiny at this point? You know, I feel like, to be honest, I'm the one here that played the least bit out of everybody of Destiny 2. And I'm digging it now. Like, now that I got the expansion again, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm back. I miss Destiny. Like, I pick it up and it feels like I'm putting on some warm gloves or something. So I'm actually positive on it right now. Even as kind of all the gripes that we have, I'm still down. What do you
It's
got,
like
Jeff?
4 months too late. It's
Jeff,
like
what do you
4
got?
months too late. I don't know. I don't know if I'll if you guys get on and play, I'll jump on if there's an opening. But I'm trying to finish up Last of Us, and then I got to do Witcher. So I have other things that are going to occupy my time, I think.
Well, I got Adam to commit to New Year's Day raid. So Masters.
I can.
Masters
All right.
raid, so
I
get
could
to
shoot for
280 by
that.
then.
I can get. I'm close.
All right, Jimmy.
I'll get it. I'll play around with it.
See, I have a goal. That's a good goal. We can work towards that.
The one thing that I just can't go back to Destiny because the bullet spread, the PvP, it's just too random. Like, there's no structure in PvP. For instance, if I come around the corner and we see each other at the same time using the same gun, I'll fire, I'll kill him. Next time, same exact interaction. He's gonna win the battle. It doesn't matter who shoots first. None of that matters. The bullets are just all over the place.
Yeah.
It's just too random. There's not enough structure for me to be like, this is the game. Like, yeah, Call of Duty's the same every freaking time, and it feels like it's just competitive or repetitive. But at least I know what's gonna happen if I do it right.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
Destiny, I never know. Every time I played a PvP in Destiny, I'm just like perplexed. I'm like, what? What the? Why? Why did that happen? I have no clue. I couldn't even tell you. It's just, I don't know. Their PvP isn't. It's just too random.
Sure.
If they ever fix the bullet spread and the way that the hidden mechanics in the firing, stuff like that,
Right.
maybe we'll
Yeah.
get it right. But I don't know. We'll see.
Gotcha. Corey.
I don't know if you're gonna play, I'll play. I guess.
Yeah.
I got at this point. It's. I mean, I'm kind of feel the same way Jeff does. That if my friends are playing, I love playing Destiny with my friends. If not, I got a million other games to beat. I got.
Yeah, exactly.
I got so much shit that
Xenoblade.
I just. Yeah, I mean, I still gotta beat Xenoblade and then about 8 other games.
Right.
And it's just, I don't know, maybe I just went too hard with Destiny 1 or something. I'm just kind of wore out on it, on the grind, and just, I mean, I guess they're going to be coming out with super legendary weapon types or something with random stats, and at least that'll give you a reason to grind a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, like Joe was saying, I mean, there's really no point in playing after you hit max. You know, it's kind of there's just not much reason to play. Like, if we're gonna do the raid and stuff with friends, I'll play. But other than that, I got other stuff to do.
All right, collector's game. I feel like you can collect tons of stuff.
Yeah. You collect stuff, yeah, but yeah, no reason to really. You don't really get any better.
Right. Joe, take us home.
Well, I mean, for me, I play it too much, so you know, I'm almost max light on 3 characters,
right?
And it's been out a week. So for me, you know, it's something to do, but it doesn't have the magic that Destiny 1 did. Another example is like, there's no raid ships or you know, just raid specific shader to go after. It's all Everest, and you know, it just seems like it's a big cash grab.
Right.
It just doesn't feel like the same game. Doesn't have the same magic. I mean, I'll play it and I'll put in my time, but it's not going to get me thousands of hours like Destiny 1 did.
Right.
So for now, I mean, I'd say it's, you know, it's an average game right now. It could be better.
Yep. Totally. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. It's been fun.
Thank y'all.
Thanks.
Yep. And,
sorry, I was late.
And
loud.
Loud.
All right. We'll talk to you guys next time.
All right, everybody. Every week we throw out a community question on Twitter and Facebook, and this week's question was alludes to Destiny 2 Curse of Osiris being launched on Tuesday. It seems like Destiny 2 impressions were all over the place. That said, where are you with Destiny now? And from Twitter, Simply Endo Life replied, she said her husband gave up on it within a couple of weeks and went back to Warframe. He isn't interested in the updates or DLC until the reviews come out from players. And then Chris at Christopher502 replied, "Save your money."
Some negative Twitter reviews.
So yeah, before it even came out and played it. But back to Facebook.
We had a whole bunch of Bill telling people to like us. Appreciate
Yeah, Bill Belcher.
Yeah.
Joe Stein replied. He says, "I don't have huge history with the first game other than watching a bunch of BL2 streamers switch to it. It's not as fun as BL2, which I'm trying to figure out what BL2 is.
I don't know what BL2 is either. I'm reading that. I'm like, is he talking about the same game?
BL2.
I miss my ridiculous guns, but it's way more polished. It kept me playing nonstop since PC launch. I'm not bored. They seem to be responding to the feedback in a reasonable fashion, and I do agree that everything dependent on tokens is dull. But so is speed killing Hyperius 100 times, hoping for the right drop."
Is he talking about the same game?
Borderlands? Is he talking about Borderlands?
Yeah, Borderlands 2. That makes sense.
Oh, Borderlands.
Yeah.
Oh, we got you, Joe.
I was trying to.
Okay.
I was thinking. I was like, BL.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a different deal. Destiny's definitely a different deal than Borderlands.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, Borderlands was revolutionary to me when it came out. Like that, for playing co-op shooter and the way they mixed Diablo into a first-person shooter was unlike anything. You know, I'm excited for Borderlands 3 for sure.
Word.
Yep.
It's good.
All
Good
right.
multiplayer.
So I would say the next community question
It's gonna be about The Last Jedi.
Oh yeah, The Last Jedi. This is gonna be The Last
Last
Jedi
Jedi.
Spectacular. Of course.
Yeah.
So what did you think of The Last Jedi?
Easy question.
I read a few first takes already from people, media watching it.
I don't want to hear it.
I don't want to.
Well, no. I made sure that there were no details. They just all said, like,
Because I'll make you live in a fat horse drawing.
best one since Empire Strikes Back. Yeah.
Wow.
I can't.
That's a lot to say.
Yeah,
Also, Mark Hamill's best performance, apparently.
Stop it. Stop it. Oh, it's so close. So close.
See, there's
2 days
nothing in
away.
there. It's just
2
anticipation.
days away.
Yep.
By the time this is launched, 2 days.
Yep.
It's meant to get people hyped up.
So
Ready.
the YouTube community, we went up a bunch of subs this week, but not all of them don't share their subscriptions or don't have channels or whatnot. I did get a nice back and forth on Twitter and had a nice shout out from Flatch Attack Games. So appreciate that, everybody. If you could go to his YouTube channel, Flatch Attack, that's FLACH Attack Games, and subscribe to that guy. He's been hooking us up. I think
Nice.
Flatch, because it's with
Flatch?
an H. Yeah,
Yeah.
FLACH. And he also wins the name of the week.
There you go.
There you go.
Single entry. Always
Yep.
the quickest way to win.
Congratulations. So, thanks everybody for watching. We're going to go full spoilers on Batman, The War of Jokes and
That was
Riddles.
good.
So if you have not read that and you're taking off, we appreciate it. This has been Comically Gaming, episode 82. Thank you very much for joining us. In the meantime, check out our website for all our details up there. You can find us at gamescomicsandculture.wordpress.com. Check us out on Twitter at GCandC.
Support us on patreon.com/GCAND. And as always, thank you to Fred Thomas for opening music and Xee Reiter for our awesome logo.
Yep, as always. Thanks, everybody.
And it was just C's birthday not too long ago. She is 27.
Happy birthday, C.
Nice.
So, before we go into this, the next comic book club is actually going to be in the new year. It's going to be, we figure we're going to take so much time in The Last Jedi next week that we won't be doing comic book club. So, at the 7th of January, we're going to be going over 4 kids walking to a bank that Dirk found somewhere. I never heard of it until he brought it up. So.
It's been around for a while. It's episode 86, but
Right.
Oh, never mind. Disregard.
No.
Yeah, that's Comically Gaming.
It's new.
No.
It's new.
So thanks everybody. With that being said, we're about to go full spoilers on Batman. What is it? Number 28 through 32?
25 through 32.
25,
Yeah.
right. There's a lot of them. So
Yep.
go read it and come back if you haven't. Welcome to Comic Book Club.
What's up?
Full spoilers discussion here around Batman. What is it again? Issues
25 to 32.
25 to 32 of Rebirth. This is the War of Jokes and Riddles. So it was my turn to pick. I picked this out. I had actually read a couple
Great
articles when this was in the middle of going on, and that said, like, if you're not reading Batman right now, start reading it. And I heard some comparisons to some of the greatest Batman stories ever in my mind, and disagree with that. But it's just the next step down. Like to me, like this is, since I got back into comic books, this is my favorite superhero spandex style comic story that I've read in the past like 3-4 years or whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I liked the artwork in it. I liked the whole storyline was interesting here. It took a while to figure out it was being narrated by Bruce Wayne or Batman.
Right.
During it.
To Catwoman.
To Catwoman.
Yeah.
Bat and cat.
Bat and cat.
Yeah.
Which leads to the interesting thing at the end of the whole war.
Proposal. Yeah, that's big news.
Yeah.
So,
Huge.
Yeah.
interesting. So first of all, it's them getting engaged. Yes,
Yeah.
that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But to me, that's like, I don't know. Whenever, when Superman and Wonder Woman were getting married and whatnot, like I don't know. Like I feel like
I think they might run. This one might sustain
Yeah.
for a while, at least
Yeah,
a while. You
I
know.
just, to me, like those are easy stories to write. You know what I mean? But for this one, it was cool that the whole point of it was he was telling her this story so that she knew that he wasn't. He tried to kill.
Right, he lost it.
Right?
Yeah, he broke
lost
his
it.
rule.
Yeah, which he never does.
Yeah.
And
And a hand stopped him.
yeah, and, right. So
Now that's funny.
yeah.
Dude, I have to say, okay, Tom King's Joker is probably my favorite Joker.
Really?
I gotta say, like, I was already a fan of, Nicholson's version on film, Cesar Romero,
Yeah.
But I love. Don't get me
Heath
wrong.
Ledger.
I love Heath Ledger's version. But this version, Tom King's version of Joker, I think is just fantastic.
Yeah.
It's so dry.
Yep.
You know, it's
Yep,
sort
absolutely.
of. I mean, he's beautifully drawn too. I mean, just
Oh yeah.
fantastic. I thought it was a great story, man.
Yeah, really enjoyed the dinner table when Bruce
Oh,
got
yeah.
the two of them together as well,
Yeah,
and just the conversation that took place was
Freaking 9 courses.
yeah. Well, that was
Also-
really cool.
I normally hate the Riddler, I'll be honest. And this was a non-hateable Riddler. Like, I totally dug him in this one. Because they were good riddles he was throwing out. And, you know, the Joker had good jokes. I thought it was a really good series. Obviously, I don't think it's like top 3 or top 5 all-time Batman, but I'd put it in my top 10.
I agree with you. That's
Best
where I feel like
Batman stories.
it's 10 to 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's somewhere in there. Yeah.
Yeah, and Tom King also I think is just fantastic, and he's a great writer for Batman. I haven't gotten to read it yet, and it happened earlier in this series, but apparently there was a 2-issue team up with Swamp Thing that's also supposed to be awesome.
Okay. Cool. Tom King wrote
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, it's earlier in this series. I think it's a few issues before that started, but I just feel good with him at the helm of Batman.
Yeah.
you know.
Sure. Yeah, DC's looking strong now, especially with.
Yes, they are. Yes,
yeah.
they are.
It's which good, right? Like I'm excited for that. We hadn't done
Yeah,
a
we
DC
need
book
balance,
because
right.
there really wasn't. It wasn't interesting, right? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
now we're starting to see good reviews, and they're getting the top tier writers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, got me. I'm almost more interested in DC than Marvel now after
absolutely.
reading that. I mean, obviously the Marvel movies are better, but if you're comparing the two for their books, I think DC's the way to go. I wasn't super into the war jokes and riddles. Like I thought the first few issues were just kind of so, just kind of Joker fighting Riddler. But
I gotta say, like I liked the fact that when I was in the middle of those two, I was like, man, this is kind of slow. What's going on here?
Wow.
But I like the fact that they let it ramp up. Like most of these comic arcs, they don't. Like they have such a short amount of time to tell their story that they have to start running. And it was interesting. But I can see why you'd say that, definitely, because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that dinner was awesome. The end was good. I mean, I liked it, and then it kept me. I kept wanting to read. I read the next 2 issues after that.
Right.
Kite Man.
Which is pretty cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
Kite
Kite
Man.
Man was awesome.
Yeah. Kite Man is awesome.
I forgot about Kite Man. Like that was great. Like the fact that he was that the joke was that Kite Man was the one who ran that whole part of it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably like my favorite part of it.
And it still wasn't funny enough.
No, I think it's great that DC. We need some balance between the big two. You know, like you can't just have one running rampant all the time and not give some credence to, because DC has really good characters too. You know, you gotta get good writers for them. But one I wanted to check out, I think that Tom King does, is Mr. Miracle.
Oh yeah, I've heard that's good.
Really good.
Yep.
Man, it's at the top of like every list. So, and that's DC.
Yeah, maybe a couple weeks out or whatnot. One of us could pick that. All right.
Yeah.
Are we good? Anybody have anything else?
Good.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
I'll read some more from that series.
Jeff, Jeff, we didn't get over. I mean, me and Dirk seem to place it higher than Corey. What's your overall impression?
No, I liked it. I remember I picked up the first issue in that Batman Rebirth that DC was doing, and so I had read a few of the first couple issues, so it was nice to just get back into it.
Yeah.
I started reading that, then I've gotten to Star Wars and sort of left that off on one side of it.
I read through 16. This is the last one that I got until the War Jokes and Riddles. But yeah, I want to go back now and catch up at this point.
Yeah. Most definitely. Yep. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I always liked DC's storylines or just character development in ways better than Marvel. It's darker too. I like the darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Batman's
story in
always.
particular.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
just the not laughing Joker thing was like, it had a weird air to it. It wasn't
Had-
just a straight thing. You know what I mean? It was like, it was twisted.
Oh, absolutely. There was so much implied,
Yes.
Yeah. Murder.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
outright killing people. I mean, but I like that he gave a face to it too. You always think about these two villains with like, they're just killing people, but he was actually showing them in the back,
Mm-hmm.
like who died and how they got murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the two snipers, Deadshot and. the other
Oh
one.
yeah, I forgot.
Oh
about
yeah,
that, too.
blood. Yeah.
The interlude.
Blood.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's funny when I got to that and I was like, interlude. I'm like, should I be skipping this or are they taking a break? And then no, you read it. It's dead center in that story. It wasn't queued up on the Joker and Riddler. It was the sniper battle.
Deathstroke. Yeah, Deathstroke.
Deathstroke,
Deadshot. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's been the Comic Book Club, and this has been Comically Gaming issue.
82.
Episode
Issue 82.
Issue 82.
I like that.
Again, we're going to get back to the Comic Book Club after the new year. We're putting a couple shows in the can and spitting them out to you guys with our top 10 lists. So the next time that we get around to doing this live will be next year. The second week of next year. Dirk picked out the show or the book this time. This is episode 82, and Dirk picked out the show 4 Kids Walk Into a Bank. So everybody, before January,
show.
I'm joking.
He's
about
reversing
my
it.
own, my own bad speech skills. So yeah, 4 Kids Walk Into a Bank is the next Comic Book Club. Bottom line. So read that
Yes,
one before
get it.
we get back around to it. Thank you guys for joining us for
you.
another great show. Thank
Thanks.
you, OTK and Joe, for joining us for the
Yeah.
Destiny talk. It was a good one.
Roll.
And
Good times.
next show is the
Star
Last
Wars.
Jedi Spectacular.
Woo!
God, I'm so fucking
Yeah.
excited. All right, later.
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 Stupid.